This is about I don't know, about 5 egg white, right? And it's fallen down a little bit, but this stuff, this is what you want. This is your gold. This is your money. When you hear, there's just a delightful little crunch. It's like, oh, and then inside it's really, so you get that little crunchy outside. Now, this is what I call like a Devonshire cream. I whip up some heavy cream, and I put some vanilla, just some really good vanilla, and a little bit of confectioner sugar or powdered sugar. So that's all that this is. First, make sure that you're, I whipped this a little bit ago. Sometimes it'll look like it's like good to go, and then you look in here and it's like, give it a stir, because underneath sometimes it'll lose its you want it fairly stiff. So I'm gonna whip some more air into this. Just get a little whisk. Because you want it stiff enough, you don't want your decorations to fall off. So, okay. That's better. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to plunk this on. Sometimes it'll crunch away like that. Now you can cover, I like to cover it not all the way down, but just over the top. There we go. Okay, just gonna, oops. That sounds so good. That crunchy sound is like one of the best little textures, just one of those really delicate, crunchy textures. And you don't need to be too worried about how this comes on, because it's going to be all covered by fruit. In Australia, one of the key components, and it's hard to find them here, you'd have passion fruit. Everyone grew them, and they're like passion fruit vines in every back garden, and you'd get these little black gourds of passion fruit, and you'd cut it in half and you'd pulp it out. It looks kind of like a bird had just, flown over your cake, and you think, holy cow, it looks terrible. But it tastes like it's just delicious. It's something you've got to try it, because you think you've had passion fruit. You've had like passion fruit pop and different flavored things and juices here. But let me tell you, when you have a fresh passion fruit from Australia, right off a vine, it's like, I guess it'd be like Dorothy seeing everything in black and white, and then she lands in Oz, and bam, it's color. It's like, that's how the taste just hits you. It's like, that's passion fruit, not even in the same ballpark as what you think passion fruit tastes like. And so that's usually just drizzled all over the top, which is kind of a tragedy because I don't have one. But if you have one, do it. This is the fun part. Usually kiwi, you could do mango, whatever's fresh and seasonal. I'm just going to use, they had some beautiful blackberries, beautiful strawberries. I like to cut them, I cut my strawberries like circles. You can do them sideways if you want. There you go. And I have some here. And when you do your kiwi, it's a similar thing. You'd grab a kiwi, just take the ends off, because you want to, I like to have a circle. So when you take this nice little furry skin off, just go all the way around, and that will give you a nice circle shape on the outside. If you just peel it like, you'll get all those ridges. So you want sort of that shape. And then you get that lovely pattern there, the seeds. You don't want to get them too thick, because when you make, this is a tiny Pavlova, or medium size, but when you get them really big, sometimes they're up this big, and it makes a beautiful display. But if you get it too heavy, they'll slide down the side. So I'm going to just decorate it. This is the fun part. Alrighty. So I'm going to take some strawberries, and I'll just make a pattern. Usually I have blueberries, I just didn't get any today, and you can stick those all over. It's good to have like 3 colors, I think. and you can just have fun with it. Just make any kind of pattern you want. When I serve a pavlova, I come out and and you make, you know, when it's completely decorated, it's this na-na, and everyone's like, ooh. And I usually put a little Australian flag on top. And if you're having a birthday, you can do a nice little candle on top, or you can put a sparkler on top. One thing with the sparklers, you got to be careful because it's really pretty, and then afterwards there's like soot and ash all over, and that's never it's not the same moment as when you see that thing sparkling. So well, let's see, let's put some raspberries in here. Actually, raspberries would have been nice. I just didn't get to the store this morning, and there's some beautiful ones. This will be very pretty. Fresh fruit, it's kind of like when you use fresh flowers. There's lots of flowers that you could eat, that you can decorate cakes and things with. It always just looks so beautiful. It's way better than if you just did it with, you know, like with frosting. There you go, and if you have that. Okay, so you can come out, you bring this out at the end of the meal, and maybe get a pretty little plate. This is just a small one. This would serve, say, about, you know, 6, 7, 8 people. And it was 6 eggs, so egg whites. And you bring that and they go, oh, wow, it's just a ooh. And you tell them the little story, and that's always interesting. Australia is wonderful for stories of how they invented different desserts. Now this is a little nugget of information. This is where it's beautiful. When you don't cut it at the table, show them this, and it's great, because as soon as you cut it, it looks like a dog's dinner. It's so moist it'll fall apart. So you want to plate it at the back and have lots of extra things, garnish and fruit, and some more cream on the side, and just beautify each serve, because it kind of is so moist it'll fall apart. And I'm just gonna cut quite a big wedge. Let's see here. Oops. Okay, so that held together, but you can see it's not as beautiful as here. So what I do is I sometimes put more cream, a little more dollop of cream. Dollop is blob in Australia. No, that wasn't a good drop, but never fear. You put enough of the fruit, and people will think, man, she's a good cook. And then you serve this, and it's quite delicious. So I am going to crunch through. That's why that little crust is so nice. You have all this yummy meringue that's so soft. You always like to have a variety of textures. I'm going to have a nice little bite of this. It just melts in your mouth. It's so good. It's a very moist meringue. It's not a crunchy, hard one. The inside of it's just as moist can be. Now, I've decorated with fruit, and that's sort of traditional, but you can do slivers of chocolate. I've seen it with banana. It's whatever you love, you can decorate. You can just kind of go crazy with how creative you want to be with the decoration on the top of your pavlova. And there you go. A dessert designed for a ballet dancer named Anna Pavlova.